Shalom, I'm Hannah Nesher from Voice for Israel Ministries, and I'm sitting here today in our beautiful sukkah, which we built with some help, and this is all about the festival of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. I want to talk to you today about what is the significance of the Feast of Tabernacles. What is Sukkot all about? Sukkot is actually the original Thanksgiving. The pilgrims that came to America actually modeled the American Thanksgiving in the fall on this festival of Sukkot. And it's a time to give thanks because we remember how God was so faithful and to provide for the children of Israel when he brought us out of Egypt. We wandered in the wilderness and God provided manna from heaven, water out of a rock. And I think it's really a message for us today to count our blessings, to give thanks for all that God has blessed us with, and to remember that even in the wilderness, God provides. It says that you shall rejoice. This is described in Leviticus 23, and it says that you shall, on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, and it says you shall rejoice before the Lord your God for 7 days. Not just one day, but the whole week, to rejoice before the Lord. So it's called the season of our joy, to think about all the ways that God has blessed us, how he has provided for us, and to rejoice before him and to give thanks. The third thing, as I said, I'm sitting in our sukkah. A sukkah is a little tabernacle or a booth. And it says that you shall bring the fruit of beautiful trees and fruit into your, so we have all this fruit and in our sukkah and decorated, it's beautifully decorated. So why do we build Sukkot and sit in them? Well, first of all, it's a commandment. It says you shall dwell in booths or Sukkot. For 7 days, all who are native Israelites shall dwell in booths. But what is the meaning behind this? It's because we remember that when we were wandering through the wilderness, we didn't have a permanent home. We had to dwell in tents and temporary dwellings. It helps to remind us that this world is not our home. It is just our temporary home, and our eternal home is in heaven, and we are just pilgrims and strangers passing through. The other thing that the sukkah reminds us of is the sheltering presence of God. That God is a shelter for his people, especially in these times. We need to remember that God is our shelter, our refuge. And there's a beautiful verse in Psalm 27, verse 5, where it says, in the days of trouble, literally in Hebrew, in the evil day or in the bad day, he will hide us in his sukkah. So God has a sukkah, and he will hide us in his sukkah and be our sheltering presence and protection. Another reason why the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot, is so significant, especially for followers of Yeshua, is that this is probably the actual time of his birth. You know, all the biblical scholars know that he was likely not born on December 25th because it was too cold for the shepherds to be in the fields. And it makes so much sense. Yeshua has fulfilled all these feasts and festivals of the Lord. And so he came and was born and in a manger, in something like this, a tabernacle, and he came to dwell with us. And the amazing thing, the fulfillment of this festival, it will be the day that he comes and God will tabernacle, dwell with us again. This is in Revelation 21, verse 3. It says that at the very, very end of the book, it tells us that, behold, the tabernacle or the sukkah of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself will be with them and be our God. God with us, Emmanuel. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away. That is a beautiful fulfillment of the Feast of Tabernacles, that God will come and tabernacle with us. But before this happens, one of the names of this feast, and this is the last point, is that it's called the Festival of the Nations, because in the book of Zechariah it tells us there's going to be an end time battle. Zechariah 14 describes this horrific end time battle, and it says that all the nations are going to come against Jerusalem, and then the Lord will come and he will fight for us and destroy all the enemies of Israel and all the enemies of God. And then it says that all the nations will be required to come and celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, that's Sukkot, and whoever refuses to celebrate Sukkot will be cursed with drought. And so these Hagim, these festivals, are like a circle, and they go round and round every year. And I just want to invite you to just join the dance. Just jump in anywhere, hold hands with us, and celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, Sukkot. Chag Sameach. Shalom. So if you enjoyed this message, make sure to share it with a friend, somebody who'd be interested, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all the great videos we have recorded there. And also, you need to learn more about the Fall Feast of the Lord. So significant. Get this book that I wrote called Messiah Revealed in the Fall Feast. It's packed full of fresh insights, new revelations. You're going to love it. Go to our website and order your copy today.